world needs to end. Climate change has brought extreme weather events and thousands of lives to death. Now, we will know how climate change and global warming affects the Philippine agriculture.
Climate change, in accordance to Oxford Languages, is a change in global or regional climate patterns. In particular, a change apparent from the mid to late 20th century onwards and attributed largely to the increased levels of atmospheric carbon dioxide produced by the use of fossil fuels. We chose this topic to focus on because it is very timely and relevant. The Philippines has been particularly vulnerable to extreme weather events, and about 20 tropical cyclones enter the Philippine waters each year. The country suffered with more violent storms in recent years like Typhoon Haiyan or Yolanda and Typhoon Ketsana or Ondoy. With the Philippines' unique geography and development, we have been experiencing such devastations caused by these extreme weather events that are also an effect of both climate change and global warming.
The reason we chose Region 3 as our main topic in this research because it is the longest contiguous city of the lowlands and is otherwise known as Central Plains of the Luzon. The region produces one-third of the country's total rice production and thus it's called Rice Granary of the Philippines. Central Luzon is rich in timber of minerals resources, both metallic and non-metallic. Each place that is located in Region 3 is its specific farming specialties. Fertile rice lands, melons patches, and the fish ponds is also found along the rivers and tributaries in Region 3. Region 3 accounts for the largest aquaculture production in the Philippines.
Our research being a descriptive type, we extracted a myriad of relevant information to further validate the study. In this part, key terms such as climate change, global warming, and agriculture has been identified. In addition, there are also some studies that shows that climate change has some positive effects in the agriculture. This phenomenon can be seen in our framework in the WACS model of seeds life cycle in climate change. In this part, seed maturation and mass are affected by the climate change. However, there are also some negative effects of it, such as desynchronizing the seed's life cycle, which can result into unbalanced equilibrium of our ecosystem. In conclusion, climate change may deliver few beneficial benefits in the agriculture. The negative effects of it still outweighs the latter. This study aims to investigate the impacts of climate change and global warming in the Philippine agriculture. Specifically, this paper aims to answer the following questions. 1. What are the primary and secondary effects, whether positive or negative, of climate change in the agricultural sector? 2. How will the economic sector be affected in the relationship of climate change and agriculture? 3. What are the viable methods that can be used to mitigate the effects of climate change in the agriculture?
As for the methodology, the data collection method of the research that the researcher will be utilizing is the interview. To ensure the validity and reliability of the data gathered, the researcher's target interviews are the following: the farmers in Philippine Region 3, the economic sector, and the Department of Environmental and Natural Resources or DENR. The researchers will choose respondents under that category using sampling. The researchers aim to target those interviewees because they are the ones who see the direct impact of climate change and global warming in the Philippines. They centered on the Philippines agriculture. They have the specific experience and knowledge for this issue.
So I see that's your paper. So what is the purpose of your presentation? What is your motivation for doing that paper?
The main purpose why we did this paper is of course to see what could be the effect of climate change not just in Region 3 but also in the farming-based city here in the Philippines. Since the Philippines is known for its agriculture, we wanted to look on how they live and overcome this problem as years goes by. Region 3 is the best example because as what I've said earlier, it produces almost 1/3 of the Philippines in rice production.
So, what are you trying to point in your paper? How did you gather those details?
This study points out that climate change doesn't just affect the agricultural sector alone, but also other national sectors as well, just like the economic sector. In addition, this research also wanted to point out that climate change may have some positive effects in the land the farmers use. However, just a disclaimer, the researchers do not justify the effects of climate change in the Philippines. We have gathered these details by looking and analyzing at different related literatures and informations about climate change. In addition, some of us researchers already have first-hand experience and knowledge about the topic at hand.
I see. So how will that contribute to our society?
The Study International said that research is the most reliable way we can begin to understand the complexities of various issues. As what we the researchers stated in the concept paper, the main purpose of this is to give an in-depth analysis and knowledge about the nature of climate change and how it affects the developing countries that solely rely on the agricultural sector just like the Philippines. This can greatly inform the masses, most especially the farmers who are massively affected by climate change, of what is happening and how it should be addressed. With enough knowledge, we can brainstorm and stretch our minds to give possible solutions to such problems like this.
Your study is so vast. What are the limitations that you have encountered in that research? And how did you address those limits?
The limitations that we have encountered in these studies are time-consuming and physically limited. We cannot be able to interview all the population of the target interviewees, such as the farmers in Region 3, and it is time-consuming to question and process all the data from the population of participants. To address this limitation, we decided to do something to the target interviewees. Gathering data from the chosen respondents is still essential and mirrors the whole group since they are part of the target respondents.
That's good. So what are your recommendations to solve the issue that you have presented?
In order to be more accurate and reliable, we recommend for the future researchers to widen their scope of sample population. By that, we can further understand the effects of climate change in the Philippines. Thus, we can employ proper measures needed to be done to mitigate, if not resolve, this predicament. Also, proper legislation in the government that will address better environment for the Filipinos should be done to motivate its citizens to do proper measures needed to be done to mitigate the effects of climate change.
Okay, very good. I've heard enough.